Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris, man. As always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. Today I'm going to do, because I was tired for a while, so I laid down actually getting ready to go to bed, but for some reason I couldn't get to sleep. And the grogginess went away, so I got back up. And as I was laying there, I was thinking about a video that I was going to post tomorrow. And all these ideas was running through my head. I said, you know what? Better get up now and do it while all this stuff is still fresh. And it's entitled Rufus / Chaka Khan Music Analysis. And of course, most of us who are at a certain age of our life remember the group Rufus. And what was interesting was when I was a kid, I thought Chaka Khan was Rufus. Because what's odd is there's nobody in the group named Rufus, you know. So it was Rufus at some point featuring Chaka Khan. And the reason why I'm going to do an analysis on them was sometimes you don't realize, because YouTube is a wonderful thing. You get a chance to find stuff that you never heard on some of your favorite artists. And I just recently posted a Rufus / Chaka Khan tune by the name of What I'm Missing. I had never heard that song until yesterday, and I fell in love with it because I'm listening to those great chops from the legendary Tony Maiden on rhythm guitar. Rufus, the band on the whole, was a really top-notch, tight band. You know, I listened to their stuff then, and now it's like, man, these guys were some great musicians and great songwriters and great arrangers, because all the stuff that I've heard from them back in that era, well written, well arranged, and Chaka Khan's voice was perfect for the tracks that they wrote, you know, for her to sing. And what I noticed back then versus when she went pop, they took advantage of her range, because, you know, she could do that low tone stuff all the way up to the high tone. And in the background, you hear the low tone stuff on the Rufus records. But when she went pop, all that stuff went away. There's some artists you say to yourself, I hate or hope that they never go solo. And Rufus was one of those, or should I say Chaka Khan was one of those. And another one was actually Lionel Richie, you know, but Lionel Richie was just a powerhouse by himself, you know, because you would like to think or feel, say, you know, well, okay, we noticed the solo capability here. And you would hope that they go do their solo thing and then come back and still be a part of the band, because I strongly believe that she could have stayed her whole entire career with Rufus, and they would have eventually gotten that crossover appeal, but I don't think that she would have been financially successful as she was or is. So, you know, I totally understand that. You know, if there's a potential for you to grow, sometimes you have to leave, but you hate when they leave, because once Chaka Khan left, Rufus disappeared. It's like, well, we can't replace her, so, you know, it's over for us. So that's why I kind of hope that, you know, she would have went back and forth. But, you know, again, totally understand this about you growing, and your first priority is you, your family, then the band, or then your job or whatever, you know. But it's interesting. As a teenager, I noticed this, and I was in grammar school when I noticed this. The very first Rufus featuring Chaka Khan album I seen, because actually the one I'm about to mention is not the first one. I'm not even sure it's the second one. It might be the third one. But on the album cover, I think it was like a lavender color, and they had these big ass lips. I'm like, what's up with these lips? Just lips and I think a smile or something, or eyes. And they supposed to be, you know, Chaka Khan lips. Then on the flip side of the album cover, and again, I'm in grammar school and I noticed this. Not even in high school yet. They had pictures of the band. They had little small pictures of the band themselves in each corner, little small pictures. Then in the middle, a big picture of Rufus or Chaka Khan, which of course she's the lead singer. But what was disturbing to me about that particular photo was she was sitting in a chair with her legs wide open. I mean, wide open. I'm like, what's up with this? And a lot of times when I seen publication pictures or publicity pictures of her during that era, she didn't have a top on. She just had this like little scarf thing covered over her breast, her stomach, and all this is out. Then I seen a publicity shot when she's performing live. She's squatting with her legs wide open. This is long before Drop It While It's Hot type of pose came into play. And I said, why they really exploiting her? She is sexy, and of course, yeah, let's play up the sex scene. But I thought it kind of borderline on exploitation and offensive. And was kind of interesting is, and I just, because I got my notes here, I just looked this up about 15 minutes ago on Wikipedia, and I was trying to remember who she had married, because I think she'd been married about 3 times. And what's interesting, let me say this before I get into this. It's a small world. The first bass player in my band, we went to grammar school, we went to high school together, and we used to go to his house to practice. Guess who lived next door to her during that time? And this was in the late 70s, Chaka. We actually even showed up at her wedding to, I think, her first husband or third husband, in the park that was down the street from where we live, or should I say where the bass player lived, which was like 87th and the Dan Ryan Expressway. So it's just interesting. It was a small world. We used to see her all the time. We didn't know who she was at first, but then it's like, well, at least I didn't until he said, you know who that is? Then he told me. But getting back to, the sexual thing, and I just looked this up today on Wikipedia. Her second husband, his name was Richard Holland, he wanted her to tone down her sexy image, and I'm like, yeah, I totally understand, because as a grammar school kid, I see this, and I'm like, what's going on with this leg spreader thing? And she refused, and actually the next year he filed for divorce and divorced her. And what's interesting as far as unfortunately when hardcore R&B funk bands, the lead single leaves to go pursue perhaps a pop career, because the stuff that she did with Rufus was just monumental. Sweet Thing, Ain't Nobody, Stay, Heaven Bound, Tell Me Something Good, written by Stevie Wonder. The list goes on. And again, just the great songs that help, complement her great vocals. Then when she went pop, or went solo, she went pop. And, one of her biggest pop songs was Through the Fire, which was written by David Foster, who also wrote After the Love Is Gone for Earth, Wind, and Fire. That was one of my least favorite songs, because all the years I heard Earth, Wind, and Fire, they had that just funky soul thing going. Then when I heard that, I was like, this just sounds like a very polished pop song. And a lot of pop songs don't do nothing for me as far as hit. They don't hit me. I appreciate their arrangements, because, the majority of great pop songs have great arrangements. But it's just kind of lacking that soul, especially if you were already known as a soul band, or, a soul singer. So Through the Fire and, After Love Is Gone didn't do nothing for me. And the writers for After the Fire is, of course, David Foster, Jay Garden, Bill Chaplin, who was, I think he's one of the horn players for Chicago. And when I heard that song, I said, I know Larry Dunn at the time that was with Earth, Wind, and Fire didn't play on that. That's not his piano playing. It's more or less kind of a pop Juilliard graduate keyboard performance. And a lot of people used to ask me, could you do a cover of that? It's a piano song. They're just some songs you listen to, so this is just strictly piano. You attempt to do this on guitar, it don't sound nothing like it, because it was not written on the guitar, unless you do some very extensive arrangements for guitar, and then it won't even sound like the song once you do that. So I felt it interesting when I had a few people throughout the years mention that song. I'm like, don't mention that song. Don't ask me to do that song, because it's a pop song. It's a piano song. It's just totally a piano song. So let me see if I forgot anything. But basically just this video is just to kind of, mention the fact that you hate when your favorite soul bands, the lead singer goes solo, go pop, they die. And then, you prepared out there in pop land and really never come back to your roots, because, like I said, I would have loved to have seen Chaka Khan finish out her career with Rufus and do solo projects, but always come back to the motherland and continue to create and perform these classic, great, beautiful R&B songs that just had a lot of kick to them. Because again, as I listen to the stuff I've never heard, and of course the stuff I've heard, I got a great appreciation for Rufus, because they were a tight ass band. They wrote some great songs, and the arrangements were great. And then, like I said, the the lead singer goes solo and the band dies and disbands, and then the lead vocalist get propelled into pop land. But again, I totally understand it's about growth, and if you can make more money, hey, why not? But you do miss the Rufus lineup with Chaka Khan up front, handling the lead vocals. So until next time, take care, and thanks for watching.